What's going on, friends? James Nguyen here with the Alpha Red Comic Channel. It is Friday night, and we are going to draw. So I'm trying to get used to the new night also. It seems like we get different people. It's okay. I like it. I like it. Brother Fong is in the house. He is stuck waiting at the airport, so he is forced to watch me. He's not forced to watch me, obviously. But no, it's I didn't think about it all day. I've been busy all week. And the week ended on a high note for me. I was my boss gave me a text and said, "Hey, that raise came through for you." So I just got a raise for next year. It takes effect next year. So very generous. They are very kind. So that is great news. To a little happy. I got a raise dance. So hang on. Yay for me. Yes. Thank you. Much thanks. So thank you guys for joining me. I did not know what to draw because it's been snowing here in central New York, and I could not go out to the comic book store. Thankfully, I had a comic book come to me. This was a comic book that came in the mail today. Thief in the Night from Grok Comics. I support my brother from another mother, independent Christian comics, the Grok Comics guys over there, Bill Ropp, very generous with me in the early days of me trying to get out there as getting the word out on Alpha Red. He reached out and gave me some love. So if you are new to the Alpha Red Comic Channel, we draw on Friday nights. It used to be Sunday night. Now it's Friday night for the next 2 or 3 months. But here I'm going to show you a little bit about Mr. Alpha Red. This is the cover to the next issue. It has not been colored yet, so I'm thinking through some stuff, working stuff out. But this is a preview of the cover, and I'll show you some of the pages. I currently have that's page 1, page 2. If you've watched in the past 2 weeks or so, I show you the updates of what I am up to. This is page 4, page 5, and I think that was as far as I got before. This is probably new. I finished this up this week, and page 6. It is a wrestling-centric comic, this issue, and I am currently working on page number 7. So that is what is going on in my world of independent comic art. But tonight, we are going to draw Mr. Wolverine. Let me see. Is this pointing down far enough here for you? There we go. So hopefully you guys like Wolverine. I don't know anybody who absolutely hates Wolverine, but you would be wrong about your taste because he is very, very popular. So before we get started, I'm going to say hi to the people in the chat. Greetings, joining you from the airport today before we fly out to Houston. Well, I hope that you have a fantastic trip, my friend, Mr. Fong. Benny Decker, he's working around on the farm, doing some barn chores, but hope to pop in later. Happy Friday, my friend. Fong says, I didn't know. I don't read well. He told me that he's going to Houston, but I said, where you going? Shotgun back in the house. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the congrats. It was a nice, it's going to be a nice little bump. Sweet. I want to get Thief in the Night. Yes. It's very cool. I recommend Thief in the Night from Grok Comics. My eyes. Miss Cuddler Lover 1. Thank you for joining me tonight. Do you guys like Wolverine? Are you guys Wolverine fans? Of course, you know, he's a lot of people's favorite X-Man. But, you know, he is not my favorite, but he's always a fan favorite. Let me move this mic down here a little bit. Cyclops was always my favorite X-Men, because I discovered the X-Men in the 90s, Jim Lee drawing, and I was always a fan of like the leaders anyway. If you ever watch my channel, you know that I like Optimus Prime, I like Leonardo from the Ninja Turtles. If they're in charge, I like them. You know, kind of they do what's right even if it's not cool. And I don't know if that's I identify with that or whatever. But so this was kind of, I don't know if you saw the thumbnail, but this is kind of based on that, except comic book eyes and then super duper masculinized, because Hugh Jackman's just like, I mean, he's jacked, and he was healthy in those first couple of X-Men and beyond. He's still got it, but nothing can be exaggerated. They can't get as big as I can exaggerate the physique in a comic book. So I'm going to throw down these lines here to get the basic composition, to get some of that energy. I'm going to try to recapture that energy that I spoke so much about a couple months ago. Time flies because I only do this once a week. So, but I was trying to capture a little bit more energy by making it more kinetic, like just not so polished. Let the ink start to fly. Let the lead fly first. And for whatever reason, I don't know if you artists out there have the same problem, but the energy from the pencils are very hard to capture when you go to do the inks. So I'm going to do my darndest here to make sure that I get a lot of energy while I'm doing the pencils, and then when I go into the inks, I'm going to do my darndest to maintain the energy that hopefully we achieve in the pencil stage. So it was just a pretty generic pose of Hugh Jackman standing there in the white beater outfit, and just got the claws popped out. And so we're just going to go with that inspired look. So not crazy about the head tilt there. Let's try that again here. Let's try a little bit more masculine chin. Is the chin the problem? Let's see if you guys are hanging with me. Brother Fong says, I'm a Cyclops fan myself. Nice. We have great taste, don't we, Brother Fong? Great taste. But Hugh Jackman is tall, and Wolverine is supposed to be like 5 foot tall. I don't get it. I don't get why he was supposed to be so short in the first place, but that is a weird fun fact that most normies don't realize, that in the comics, he's supposed to be super short. In fact, Dougray Scott was supposed to be Wolverine, but he was still stuck filming Mission Impossible. Is he tall or short? Dougray Scott. Hugh Jackman got the part. Yep. More useless nerd trivia. Brother Fong knows it all. Brother Fong is the resident fact checker. He just fact checks it from his memory. Fact checks it right from the old memory. So let's do open mouth. That means more of that. And then let's see. So I'm using this is like a super old, this is not a new sketch cover. So Wolverine 310. Do they even go that high anymore? Do comic books from Marvel and DC even go that high anymore? But his outfit in here is the blue and yellow costume, yellow and blue and yellow. It is like a weird, more futuristic looking thing with lots of textures and stuff. But we're not going to use that that outfit, that specific outfit. It was cool. I liked it at the time, but I was not really picking up any comics. I was busy spending money on the kids. So not so much money. Not so much money for comics. There was a huge gap in my comic collecting, probably from mid 20-aughts, 2000-aughts through not too recent. I mean, until very recent, I should say. Very, very recent. Until I started having the money. Some nice raises from my employer. They were very generous with their words, and it's not something that I asked for. They're kind to me anyway, and they pay me very fair. But apparently I'm doing well enough that they wanted to show their appreciation. So that was a very welcomed surprise that they brought it up early this morning. They said they were going to have a meeting about it. They were going to push for it with board members to make sure that I was taken care of. And that was very welcomed news. Just in time for the holidays. Not that I will see the raise in the holidays, but just gives me a little peace of mind that credit cards would be more easily paid later. I don't like that arm. What's going on with this? What is going on with that arm? What do you think? Let me see what I missed. Doug Ray Scott, you said, yep. So Fong says Doug Ray Scott is pretty tall as well. Yeah, I didn't think he was a short guy. There was who was that? Glenn Danzig from the band Danzig. I remember in the Wizard magazines they always suggested him as Wolverine. But you can have all kinds of short guys nowadays. This 50-year-old brain still works occasionally. Yep. Better than mine, I'll say. Big news today: Netflix won the bid for Warner Brothers, which means they'll own DC Comics. I guess there's still some contention about maybe they can't pass the monopoly thing or something. $83 billion. I can't even imagine. My brain can't even wrap around $83 billion. That's so nuts. Thank you, Ryan. Very nice so far. Thank you. You got to add more money to your comic budget. I'm trying not to. It's a little bit more than cost of living, for sure. So that's nice. That was a generous. It was very nice, but I try to keep my comic stuff different than my my home budget, just because it can be very easy to muddy the waters and spend house money on just my personal desires. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. And that's not fair to my wife, because she would like to have things done too. And all of her stuff are much more noble than mine. Like, she wants like stuff for the house. I just want to make more comics. I want to pay people to help me make comics. I want I want more Alpha Red. I want all the comic things. I want to try and buy and try more independent comics. So let's make sure I have the right angles. I just recently drew a picture, and I had the wrong like perspective. And after I inked it, I was like, what was I thinking? And I don't want to redraw it. So we'll give him the old, I don't know, what's the thing about on the back of his hand where it's, that's where the claws used to come out. It used to have little metal sleeves that they would come out, and then they really leaned into them just coming out of his skin, and then they came out between his fingers because of the movie. So, I mean, that does make the most sense, that they would come straight out in between his fingers, but all right. So, am I missing anything? We'll keep with the Jim Lee under the reflective gradation. So we'll do the contrast line there, and then there's gradation there, contrast to show the roundness of the muscle, then contrast there, little gradation. Let's redo that over here, just a little bit there, more of it here. Let's see, how can we do it over here? So the shadow, we go underneath here. Do I do a little gradation shadow thing? Maybe. 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 There we go. So it's not exactly how I pictured it in the beginning, but I'm going to make it evolve a little bit. I was going to make it much more, not much more, but it's definitely going to do a different angle. But I want to show more of the front of him, I think would be cooler. If I did it more digital, like Shotgun Scream, I could probably much more easily make some of these adjustments, but I'm old school. Because I end up watching a lot of Kanan White. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Kanan White. He's the art director for Rippaverse. And he's been posting a lot of process pictures, process videos, and sped up, of course. But just jealous of how he can just make the heads bigger or smaller. He can tilt them in different ways without having to redraw them. Sure, it's a time saver if you have the technical skill. So this would be contrast, and then it kind of transitions from a dark cut like that to a more gradient. This is his boots. Like, can you imagine like making these boots like nowadays? Like, I don't think we're designing characters that spark the imagination like some of the old characters. Like these big wing things on his ears, absolutely no reason for them at all. But we absolutely recognize that as Wolverine, right? All right. I think maybe. So we'll move his some of this too, because I'm showing more of the front of him. More of the front. I was gonna do like he was like mostly on his side and just barely turning to us, but that was not working like it did in my head. So we're gonna go with pretty much like more front. He's just kind of twisting to the side just a little bit. Just a little bit. So yeah, I don't know. I hate the consolidation of all the intellectual properties, but maybe it's a good thing, so that all these characters and stuff that we love, that we kind of baby, and we feel this ownership over, they can be mishandled and kind of tossed to the wayside, so that new things can be created. That would be, I mean, as dark as that sounds, like there's no Rise of Alpha Red or Nephilim or Thief in the Night or whatever Shotgun's working on. Like, that has no room to grow if Batman is still hanging out, if Spider-Man and Wolverine are still taking the oxygen out of the room. So I think it's okay if some of our heroes get become something that we no longer look up to, so that we can be open to allowing new creations to flourish. How's that for a take? Huh? You guys agree? Disagree? Obviously, we all want the familiar things, but we'll always have those things. Like, you don't have to complain about the new Superman. You can go back and watch the original Superman. You don't have to complain about old Batman or new Batman. We always have old Batman. So we'll always have those old things. I think maybe it's okay to let these things kind of run their course, so that Alpha Red can rise. Alpha Red, the hero we need. Come on. You know the song. I don't know. Do you guys hang out at the end and listen to the ending video? I was like so super proud. Well, super excited. I had nothing to be proud of. When Crazy John created that for me, I was just over the moon, excited that Alpha Red had his own theme song. So Fong says, I just hope they just absorb HBO Max into Netflix, so I only have to pay for one of them. Yes. I am happy that I watch that stuff for free, because my little brother, maybe he's making up for all the comics that I bought him in his youth. He gives me his passwords. So I know they were saying they were going to crack down on the password sharing, and they did. They kicked me off of my device, and they said, "Hey, you got to go to your email, or we texted you a code before you can sign in again." And they did that to me twice, and I was like, you know what? It's too much of a hassle to call my little brother. He's working. We don't communicate that much, honestly, because they're still down in Pennsylvania and I am in New York, 4 hours away. So I did it twice, and then the second time I said, I only wanted to watch K-pop Demon Hunters to see what everybody was talking about on Netflix. And then it stayed. And then I asked for it again for was it HBO Max? I want to say it was something else that Disney. I think it was Disney. And I forget. I was going to try to watch Fantastic Four. And I started watching Fantastic Four, and I only got halfway through it. It was kind of boring, honestly. I don't know if you guys liked it. I wanted to like it. I was ready to like it. And so I was excited to get the opportunity to see it. And just kind of fell flat for me. With the power and the faith, he always succeeds. Yes, amen. Yes and amen. Rest in peace, Crazy John. My goodness, I think about him every now and again. And it does make me sad almost every time. Oh yeah, my wife and I finally watched K-pop Demon Hunters on Thanksgiving. What'd you think? F4, I fell asleep and woke up at the end. Felt very slow. I agree. Like, I was okay just turning it off. It got late. I was getting tired. I was like, you know what? I'll watch it tomorrow. I'll watch the rest tomorrow. I was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. 2 or 3 weeks ago. But yeah, it's going to be okay if some of our favorite IP go away. Maybe that's self-serving. Maybe I only have that perspective because I can only see it from my point of view, where it's advantageous for Alpha Red if Spider-Man is too woke for the normal people, for normies. All right, I think methinks he's ready for inks. That's what methinks. I'm gonna snap the picture right quick, and then off to the races we go. I got my handy dandy thing of ink so that it doesn't get all over the place. We liked it, but my wife still thought the demons looked scary. Yeah, they were scary. Demons are scary, so we need to kind of buckle up, I think, because you never know. Maybe they're not scary because like Lucifer was the demon of the angel of light, so they might be like totally beautiful, and we don't we're not visually scared of them. So who knows? But we know that evil is out there, and it's dark, and it's gross. So many gross things. I don't know if you guys heard the controversy with the Stranger Things. I've never watched Stranger Things, but there was all kinds of controversy, and I was like, I'm glad I don't even watch it. And then I was watching The Quartering. I I think it was. And he got into it. And he's like, I don't know. It's just kind of scary, gory stuff. I was like, my goodness, man. That is some sick stuff. I'm glad I never got hooked on that. Because I got a lot of recommendations from that, including from Christians. So, they're like, oh, it's just nostalgic. It's whatever. It's horror. And I don't understand the appeal of horror, I guess. I used to watch horror movies, but not so much anymore. So when I first started dating my wife, she absolutely did not like them, but I got her to watch a couple, and she would scream at just the right time that would scare the heck out of me. And so I started becoming scared of scary movies. So now I can't even watch them. They are too scary for me. Too scary. Yeah, I remember all kinds of watching all those scary movies back in the 80s, early 90s, and then late 90s come around. I meet my wife, and I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you what scary movies they were, but I was like, they're just movies. Don't be scared. And then she watched a couple with me, and just the way that she reacted to all the scary parts scared me. Like I said, like something would bump or something would jump out, and she would scream so loud, it would be like extra scary. It's like, and not in that fun way that I used to think about getting scared. Scary. Yeah, I have not watched it again. I wanted to watch it again because I only half watched it while I was cleaning. Just kind of had it on my phone, and I really enjoyed it. I like the songs. What parts that I saw from it was very entertaining. The animation was good. The comedy, just like all of it, everything that they were trying was kind of well done. But it really felt like it wasn't for me. It's like for girls. But that's okay. I'm not going crazy being mad that they made it too girly. And what about for the boys? It's only girls get to complain about that there being too many boys in their boy property. I guess Grace Randolph was having a conniption about the lineup of the Doomsday Avengers movie. How many guys there were in it. Fong says it's all good as long as they scream and jump into your arms. Yeah, she was doing that, but my goodness, it got scary. Songs were really good. I agree. Very well sung, very catchy. Very, very catchy. Good stuff. So you guys excited about the Supergirl trailer that's supposed to drop here? I don't know when it's supposed to drop, but that was a bit of the buzz. This week. I can't say that it looked good to me when she appeared in Superman. I enjoyed the Superman movie. And I thought that was one of the worst parts, was when she came in at the end. Because that is not how I remember Supergirl. Not that I've ever been a huge Supergirl fan or knew much about her. The only comics of her that I picked up were from like mid 2000s, not mid 2000s, early 2000s. Michael Turner, Jeff Loeb, I want to say. Wasn't she in Batman, Superman, Batman, whatever that was? Yeah, the singing voice for Rumi Ajay has a great story. Yeah, didn't she aged out of the K-pop like whatever system that they had, and so now she's the most popular one. She apparently was one of those K-pop schools and never got into a group. Yep. Eventually, they said she was too old, and you have to leave. And then she continued to write songs and other K-pop groups, and now she's up for a Grammy and an Oscar. So did she? She didn't do the acting, the voice acting, did she? She just did the singing, right? Is how I understood it. But yeah, that is them's the break sometimes. Never give up. Never give up. Never give in. Don't sleep on your dreams. Like Alpha Red, independent comic book property. Come on. So yeah, if you're just joining me, shopalphared.com is where I am taking pre-orders for the collected version of Alpha Red 1 through 5, calling it Alpha Red Volume 1. This is the second printing of it. And I think I am going to extend it to next Friday, just because that's when the books will come in. And so I will spend the weekend mailing out the orders. And that is the Christmas guarantee. After that, I will still send it out, but I can't guarantee you'll get it before Christmas. I want to make sure there's 10 days. So if I pack them up on Friday night, I can still mail them out on Saturday or at the very latest Monday morning. And that'll be the 15th. And hopefully that's enough time to get it to your home. To get it to your home in time for Christmas. So the initial part here, I'm just doing it with the V5, the 5mm. Can you see that? And then the V7 gets it a little bit thicker. And then after it dries, and then I have the opportunity to erase it, which usually doesn't happen until the next day, because I want it to fully dry. I don't want it to smear. I had a problem with patience when I originally found these pens, and I would only wait like a half an hour to an hour and then try to go back and erase so that I could see the picture and see if there were any parts that needed redrawn. And I would always smear parts of the picture that weren't quite as dry as others. So I have learned that lesson. Hopefully. It is very tempting after about an hour and a half. If I see it again, I want to just erase the pencil and get to see the finished work. Let's see. More information from Brother Fong. She just did the singing. Nice. Yep. She wins. She should up the award and scream. She should up the award and scream. How you like me now? How you like me now? Yeah. That would be. I think she's too classy for that. She seemed pretty. She seemed like she had a pretty good head on her shoulders. So, maturity. So I'm sure that inspires a lot of the young Koreans who had come up through that school and kind of given up on the dream, that they can actually continue to do it in other ways, fulfill that dream in other ways. Because sometimes it takes, you don't know that it's possible until you see it. I know that's the way for me. Like I can't always picture what success looks like, or if something, when something is done right, until I see, like in drawing, another drawing of it, and then I kind of deconstruct what makes it work and why I can't seem to achieve the look that I want. And then once you do it a couple of times, you see that it can be done and it looks the way that you want it to look. You have the vision then to do it yourself. Just my observation of myself. Fong says, are you eventually planning to give Alpha Red a love interest in the future? You'll have to wait and find out, sir. You'll have to wait and find out. Epsilon Pink. No, that it will not likely be another powered hero. I like the idea that they have like someone at home, that they have to protect and fight for, someone who does not have superpowers. So that's just my take on it right now. It might change just because it might be more interesting or fun to have the love interest also have superpowers. But the short answer is yes. But it's not going to go super into intimate details as they do in the mainstream comics. I was even looking, I guess, on Facebook. Facebook shows me all kinds of pages that I didn't know existed, and I have not gone all the way back and looked up old X-Men, but I guess Wolverine here, him and Storm have a little thing going, or have had a little thing going every now and again. And I don't know, he like pats her on the tush, that kind of stuff. And they wake up next to each other and things like that. That's not going to happen in Alpha Red. This is mainly, I don't want to pigeonhole myself, but it's really meant for kids to discover comics. It's something that kind of cut your teeth on originally, you know, catch the bug, as I did. And I guess way back when I started collecting comics, I didn't realize how risque some of this stuff was. I was just desensitized to it, maybe. Didn't pick up on some of the innuendo, even in Spider-Man comics. Because one of those same sites was showing some pages from Todd McFarlane and Mary Jane, and they were in bed, and there was much innuendo going on. I was like, I never picked up on that. Like, I don't remember it. Like even my young teenage brain, apparently not dialed in on the them like half naked in bed. They were married, but it was like, okay, that is more than what I assumed they showed in comics, in the mainstream comics, back in the Comic Code Authority days. Maybe the Comics Code Authority fell asleep at the wheel there. I wait with bated breath. Nice. So my YouTube 2025 year in review said Alpha Red is my number 2 most watched channel. Number 2? Brother man. I think Critical was number 1. Nice. He does put out much more content, so I gotcha. I appreciate you hanging out with me whenever I get on here. Appreciate you sharing all the projects and stuff, and supporting Alpha Red. I truly appreciate it. I didn't know that YouTube did that. I'm sure I'll start getting it now too. How did it notify you? Phone. I am curious. Did they email you? Is it like a notification in your, I don't know, when you sign on to YouTube, there's a little message bell or whatever. Hey, you got a new message. They tell you in that thing, hey, you're in review. Just lots of little tricks to kind of reward you for being on their channel, being on their platform. Oh, I forgot to do a little bit of little cutting in of the upper muscles here. Get that contrast line going across here. And that's the other part of the equation about getting more energy into the picture with the looser lines, but also contrast. Gotta get that contrast in there. That makes for the most compelling pictures. The most. But I do like these shorter lines, and I don't know, the pictures that have more lines. It just feels like you're getting more value for your eyeballs. Like, dang, that's a lot of lines. I don't know if you feel that way, but I feel like whenever I'm looking at my artwork now, where the more lines I have, the more I kind of like it. So, 'tis what I'm going through right now. So I was asked to be a part of a homeschool writing course. I was a special guest yesterday on one of their Zoom calls, and the moderator, the teacher, asked me how I would describe my art style. I was like, I don't know. It's kind of changing, ever changing. That's kind of my art style. Like whatever is inspiring me right at that moment. And the more time I have to explore all the facets of that style, the more it feels like that is the current style. So I'm looking at a lot of Jim Lee stuff right now, and that it feels really good. But I don't think I'll stay there, just because I am seeing the limitations of Jim Lee's style. But man, is it fun! It's fun to relearn some of the things that I used to like about his artwork, and I still enjoy it now. It just requires like Scott Williams to ink it in the most perfect way, or else it doesn't look quite as good. Let me see. Oh, missed some. It just popped up when I fired up the app while I was waiting at the airport. Nice. Okay. But you are my favorite YouTube channel, even though you're number 2. I'll take number 2. I'll take it. 50 years old Vietnamese, into comics and draws them. What's not to love? I agree, sir. I appreciate that. Very cool. Very cool. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, Phong, were you born here or were you born in Vietnam? I'm sure you've told me, but I am actually an immigrant, and I have not many, but I have family out in California. On our way back in 1975, we did stop off in California, and they said, if you have people, you can connect with people here, you can stay here. And our people, the people who were sponsoring us, were in Florida. So, but we did go from California actually to Houston, where you're headed. And a lot of my mom's family got sponsors in the Texas area. So I have a bunch of cousins who live in Houston, and I've never visited them. So they've all kind of migrated all over the country. A lot of them still live in Houston, but they would always come up and visit us because my grandfather lived with us. So we didn't have to go very far to meet the whole family. Born here. Look at you. Yep. There's a pretty big Vietnamese population out in Houston. Yep. Yeah. No, Texas. I've been to Texas in the airport, Houston and Dallas, on my way to other places. or back from other places. Oh, I forgot his costume design here. Boom, boom, boom. All right. In light of that, how does that affect? We got the lighting over there, little reflective lighting for the back there. This has got to be like, this will have to be super dark. Super dark. Under his rib there, and then more rib. And then just, this will just be part of his side here. Let's see here. The first time I visited my family in Houston, they had all this Vietnamese food out on the dinner table. Shotgun says, I grew up in Houston. So much traffic. Have you been back? Have you been back there, Shotgun? I was so disappointed. I was like, I'm in Texas. Where's my barbecue? Where's Mission Barbecue? Come on. So is it true that everything is bigger in Texas? I have heard from many people that that is absolutely true. What's the big gas station thing? There's a big gas station slash everything. Grocery store slash whatever. That has like over 100 gas pumps. Was that out in Houston as well? Funk says HBO Max had a reality TV show about a wealthy Vietnamese family called The House of Ho. Really? Nice. Buc-ee's. That's it. Buc-ee's. That's exactly. See, you knew. You guys know. Oh yeah, everything is definitely bigger in Texas. Faux show. Buc-ee's. Nice. Yeah, that's I'm sure it's weird for locals that people from out of state would come and say, I just want to go to Buc-ee's. Can we just go to Buc-ee's and get like really big Slurpees or whatever a Buc-ee's adventure, whatever you would walk out of Buc-ee's with. And it's just the gas station. Well, I'm sure, obviously not just a gas station, but the old everything store, the actual everything store, not Amazon. Although Amazon is, you get a lot of stuff. Faux show. So I'm trying not to make it too perfect. I mean, I do want it to look nice, but like, if you're new to the channel, I used to hold my breath as I do these long strokes of ink, trying not to stiffen the artwork by making it too perfect. There. So you guys done with your Christmas shopping? Just finally got something from my wife that I'm hoping she's happy with. It's kind of hard to shop for. She's kind of a particular kind of girl. But got her something that I think she'll like. And then I also made her something. And hopefully she'll like that too. It's not a drawing. She cares almost nothing for my artwork and drawing. So Alpha Red was created in 2013, and she has not read not even one Alpha Red comic. We could not be more different, my wife and I. But we have been married for over 25 years. 25 years. Crazy. So you don't have to find somebody who's exactly like you. I mean, would it be more fun if she kind of liked some of the stuff that I like? Yeah. But I'd probably get into more trouble. Yin and yang. The good with the bad. I could always waste more money entertaining myself with comic book stuff. And she is the brakes on my obsession. So this comic is actually from 2012. I looked at the cover, and they have come a long, long way with these sketch covers, because this is very slick. Not very slick. They used to be slicker, honestly. But the current ones are pretty good. Even the colored ones, like I found. Did I find it here? Where is it? I forgot that I bought 2 of these Deadpool Batmans. So I'm gonna put it up for. I'm gonna put it back up on Etsy. I had one up on Etsy that was purchased this week, so I don't know if I'll draw it on the live stream. That was the debate, whether or not I would draw that tonight or not. But I found this this Wolverine sketch cover that had 2 different sketch covers on it, sketches on it in pencil that I never committed to, that I had to erase. One was just kind of a head. When I originally got it, probably in 2012, and never inked it. Never ended up inking it. So when the Deadpool Wolverine came around, I was going to use it as an homage to Hulk, whatever the one where the Hulk is attacking Wolverine and he's got the claws up. I don't know. Was that a McFarlane cover? But I was going to do Hugh Jackman and Deadpool from the movie. And I sketched that out and just never had the time to finish it. Never watched the movie. So I don't have any nostalgia for doing that. And so I said, you know what? I can just erase that and just draw plain old Wolverine. Plain old. Like a knucklehead. Probably the best Canadian character. So Christmas shopping is on pause right now. We have to get our house fumigated for termites this Tuesday. Then we will resume. Wow, termites. Yikes. My nephews are covered, though, thanks to Alpha Red Volume 1. Thank you, brother. Thank you. So cool. So grateful for you supporting that. Yeah, if you guys haven't hit the like button yet, please consider hitting the like button. My wife is different from me too, and it's a blessing. If she was like me, we'd be in so much trouble. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's how I feel. Speaking of Wolverine, I like his yellow and brown costume more than the yellow and blue one he wore first and now. Yeah. So those are the top two for sure. And when I discovered the X-Men, when Jim Lee was drawing it, it was definitely the brown and tan one, the yellow and brown one. So that's got a sweet spot. I've got a sweet spot for that. But I think the yellow and blue one, for whatever reason, is it feels more comic booky to me in a good way. So I am. That's why I chose to do that, and that's what is inside. It's a variation of this blue and yellow and blue. Outfit version. And how many people are going to flip it open and say, wait a minute, that's not the exact same costume as inside. So very, very cool. All right, guys, I think we're about 5 minutes away from the end here. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I don't want to keep you all night. And my wife has not seen me all day, all week. And she's going to be out helping a friend move. Tomorrow. So we ought to spend some time together. What are your big plans for the weekend? Fong's going to a wedding in Houston. Hopefully there's no problems in Houston. I'm going to clean up my office. Clean up the old office. So Shotgun, what's your fantasy book called? You're doing a fantasy book, right? Is it out somewhere? Is it are you promoting it in any way? And Ryan, I don't know if Ryan's still here, but his Nephilim Indiegogo is active until Christmas. So I don't know, Ryan, if you're still here. Do you know where you're gonna print it up? Do you have other comics that you've done before? Have you printed it up? That is part of the journey when you're creating a comic book. Some people don't even have the money to get it printed, so it just exists digitally. But there's nothing like holding your first comic book that you created in your hand. So there are a lot of print on demand out there. So you can go, there's a lot of good places, but just curious if you have something lined up already. All right, guys, I think that's going to be, you know what? I didn't go. Let's just do a quick, maybe another minute or two with the bigger, broader guy. I like to do this so that it makes the certain elements pop. put a darker outline around certain parts of the body and whatnots, and the other lines will sink back and become textures. And then it will also help with that contrast that I'm trying to achieve. Just bringing out the muscles, bringing out the costume elements and such. And I dare not touch the claws with this. Maybe I will. I don't know. I'm looking at how light that turned out. I probably will give it a quick go. Give it a quick go. So this will also be for sale on my, I do have an Etsy page. If you go to jamesq.net, that will take you directly to my Etsy store. And this is where I sell a lot of these sketches. Like last week's sketch, I don't know if you guys were here last week, but I did an Absolute Batman. And with that Absolute Batman, you get the Absolute Batman San Diego ash can. It sells for about $100 just for the ash can. But for that $100, you can also get the drawing that I did of Absolute Batman. Turned out pretty well, I think, in my humble opinion. One of my better ones. One of my better Absolute Batmans. I've done a few. And I've lost one too. I had one posted on Etsy. Somebody bought it. I couldn't find it, so I had to use my sketch cover that I had bought that I was going to use elsewhere. And I replaced the one that they bought, that they thought they were getting, with the one that I created. All right, I'm gonna call it. See what I mean with when I say it's slick? It doesn't, like the ink doesn't grab to the paper, so you end up like, you better know what you're doing, because you're going to retrace that line a couple of times. All right, that's going to do it for the drawing. Let's see what you guys, let's see. Shotgun says not yet. No promotions, still sculpting all the characters and getting them rigged before I can finish the pages. Might need to think of a new title because the original title might not fit. Okay, yeah. So sometimes it is that way. Like you have a name, you have an idea for something, and then it just doesn't fit the project, because the project has a life of its own sometimes. So Fancy Jolly Rogers 8566 says, Fancy. Well, guys, I want to thank you for hanging out with me on a Friday night and watching me draw and talking comics. And I hope you had a good time. I hope you have a great weekend. And don't forget to jump over to my sale, shopalphared.com, to pick up Alpha Red Volume 1. I'm going to show you a quick commercial for it, and then I'm going to end it. But thank you again for hanging out with me. I'll show the video, and then it'll go right to the outro. So here we go.
My superhero comic.
From the shadows he rises with courage in his heart, a beacon of hope. He's ready to start with faith as his armor and a fire in his soul. Alpha stands tall, fulfilling his role. Alpha, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread. For the world is safe with Alpha Red. In a world full of chaos, where evil may lurk, he fights for the righteous, his mission and work. Guided by God, with strength from above, he battles the darkness with unyielding love. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread. For the world is safe with Alpha Red. Alpha Red. When the night seems too long and hope seems so far, look to the skies, you'll see his bright star. With a prayer and a promise, he faces the fight. Alpha Red shines through, the beacon of light. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread. For the world is safe with Alpha Red. So stand tall with courage, let your faith lead the way. With Alpha Red beside us, we'll see a brighter day. For evil may tremble, but never forget, the world is protected by our hero, Alpha Red. Alpha Red. Alpha Red.